Do you do children's photography? Are you thinking about it? How does a never-ending source of clients coming through your door every month and also returning for more? If that sounds good, then today's video is perfect for you. I'm going to go through the Watch Me Grow program. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in the business, the marketing and the sales side of photography. This is part of my mini series covering 15 different channels that we use to bring in clients every single month, and you can do the exact same thing. A Watch Me Grow program is so simple. It's essentially 3 sessions for your client to get pictures of their newborn baby from around 8 to 12 weeks old up to about 12 months old. They would get their first session around the 8 to 12 weeks old. We typically do our second session when the baby can sit up by themselves, and we call this our sitter sessions. These are really good shoots and tons of smiles and super easy to shoot. And then the client gets a third session on or around baby's birthday. Now, you can decide to have that as a cake smash that they get at that point, or if you're like us, I like to keep our cake smashes as a separate type of session, and I make it very clear the client can't do a cake smash with the Watch Me Grow program. That way, if the client wants a cake smash, it is an additional purchase that they need to make, and that's completely fine because they're already getting an awful lot with the Watch Me Grow program. Now, why would people come to you for 3 different photo shoots? You need to have some sort of hook and some sort of pull for them. Now, this isn't like a brand new thing. There are a lot of studios that do this and make a lot of money from it. For us, we've made hundreds of thousands of pounds just from the Watch Me Grow program. But when we first started doing it, we used to offer it that you would get the 3 sessions, and at the end of the 3rd session, they would get a nice little portfolio, a small little album, if you like, with just 3 pictures in it. And it would be a picture from the 1st session, a picture from the 2nd session, and a picture from the 3rd session. Now, we were then dependent on one supplier for this folio, which meant they controlled the price of it. And if there was an issue or a backlog, there was nowhere else that we could go. So we've since changed that to a frame. So they get a nice frame that has 3 pictures, 1 from each session. Now this frees me up an awful lot, so that should I have an issue with a supplier or something like that, or if I get in touch with my supplier and I can bulk order a lot of these frames all at once and then just populate them with the pictures. Now there are a few things that you've got to put in place to make sure this Watch Me Grow program works for you. For your clients, they love it. But for you, you've got to make sure that you still make money from it. Now, I have done it in the past when we first started. I looked at all the data and saw where the bigger sales were coming from, and they were coming from the 1st session. That tends to be where the biggest sale always is. So I started doing a package where you would pay at the 1st session for a package, and it would include all the pictures from the 2nd session and the 3rd session. Now you don't want to do that, because then when those clients return, there's 0 spend from them, and you can get yourself into a situation where you're extremely busy servicing those returning clients for the 2nd session, plus the returning clients for the 3rd session, and your clients for your 1st sessions, and only getting paid for the 1st session ones. On top of that, you leave yourself at risk. What if something should happen? What if you decide that you want to move on to something else and no longer do children's photography? What if you don't decide you want to do photography at all because you've gone into a different industry or something? Well, you're kind of almost legally bound to still service those 2nd and 3rd clients, which if you've done a 1st session last month, you're stuck to do their 3rd session in 12 months' time. So what we find that works perfectly for us, and our clients have never questioned it. We have our product guide and we have our pricing, and we keep the pricing exactly the same regardless of what type of shoot you are coming in for, whether it's a Watch Me Grow, cake smash, newborn, whatever it is, the price stays the same. Clients like that because then they know they're not getting treated any differently. Next, when a client comes in for a Watch Me Grow, if they're at stage 1, we will let them know that yes, you have stage 2 and stage 3, but my advice is whatever you're purchasing now, it's this session only. You're not pre-buying anything further down the line. Now, you do need some sort of incentive to bring them back for the 2nd and 3rd and still get a sale. So what we do is we say, and if you go for one of these packages, you will get a massive discount at stage 2 and stage 3. You're not prepaying for anything, and you're not obligated to buy anything at those stages, but you've just got this massive discount if you want. Now that then frees me up, because if I should at any point decide we're no longer doing the Watch Me Grow program, I can cancel at any point. If anybody turns around and goes, well, that's I pre-purchased this or that. They can't say that. They just got offered a discount, and discounts run out. So we also put a rule in place that it needs to be done within the first 12 months of baby. Otherwise, before we put that rule in, we still today get people getting in touch with us going, oh, I forgot I'd done this Watch Me Grow. I'm still coming for my third session. I forgot all about it. Yeah, of course. And then you look and baby is now 5 years old and you're like, wow, this is why we now put this in, because now I can keep an eye on my calendars and I can control the flow of work coming through for the Watch Me Grow program. So that's, I think, is a very important thing. Don't pre-sell your sessions. Now, one of the good things that with our program is, yes, you're giving away a free frame. So you might think, oh gosh, that's got a cost. But the catch-22 is that they don't get the frame until they've done the third session, which could be 12 months down the line. Now, because of that, you've got to stipulate that from the beginning and make it very clear, but you don't have to scream and shout from the rooftops, just so long as the clients are aware of it, that they get it at the end. This can be a little bit of a downer. So when we're on the phone explaining it to a client, we will start with the explanation, which could be a negative, and then we reinforce it with a positive at the end. So I will say something like, so if the clients ask me, say, when do we get the frame? Do we get that straight away? I go, no, you don't get the frame straight away. So you get the frame at the end of the third session, and you will have a picture of baby at stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, and you'll get that in your frame. And it's really nice when people go through the whole program and then they get their frame. Everyone, you always see tears when people are like, I can't believe how much they've grown, and you get to see baby's progression. They're such a lovely, nice gift to get, and it's completely free for you guys. And then I will carry on with the conversation. When you say it like that, the clients are fine. Now, you got to remember, nobody out there wants to come in for a photo shoot now to receive something in 12 months time down the line. So the opportunity to make a sale is very real, and it's there, and you can get a nice big sale from it, so long as you have all your systems in place. And I'll run through on a separate video coming up on how we sell to all of our clients, and we keep it exactly the same, which means we're able to refine it, and we're not changing things for this type of customer and changing it for that type of customer. We keep it it's the same template, and it works really well. And if something happens and we make a tweak and a change and it results in a better result, then that now starts to become our template for every single session. So I'll run through that with you on another video. But that's the Watch Me Grow program. It's very simple. So we advertise it to clients, just to recap. It's a Watch Me Grow program. They can come in and they get 3 sessions with us. One when baby is nice and young, so typically tends to be about 8 to 12 weeks, but they're not bound by that. We will get people up with older babies who've only just seen it. Can I book in? Then the next one tends to be when baby can sit up unaided by themselves. Typically that's around about 5, 6, 7 months old, but it's completely dependent on baby when baby is ready, and they need to be unaided. So you will get some parents going, they can sit up, and actually they can't. And you don't want shots with a hand in the background just behind baby's back on every single picture. If they also bring baby can't sit up and they're trying to make baby sit up, if they're still a little bit unstable, they can fall over and get a nasty bump on their head. So make it clear to your clients it's when they can sit up unaided. Again, this is your Watch Me Grow program, and you can change these rules however works best for you. The last one needs to be around their first birthday. So it's not a cake smash for us, but it might be for you. Now you may change this. When we first put our rules in place, we changed it saying what needs to be within the first 3 years. Then we changed it saying, no, actually within the first 12 months. But what you could do is, if they register today and baby is however old, you could put your rules are, it's 12 months from when they do their first session. So you're still controlling it. Because if you have, say, get a 9-month-old where mum will phone in to book in, well, then she's going to get 3 sessions very close. And you don't want that. That's another thing to keep an eye out for. We have some clients who will come in going, right, well, I'm going to do my first session today. I'm not going to buy anything. Can I book my next session for next week, please? And you've got to put rules in place to stop stuff like that. Now, when we first got asked that, we didn't have anything written down anywhere. We didn't have a rule in place. So it caught us off guard. And because there was no rules in place, our answer had to be, we didn't say you couldn't do that. So now we do have a rule in place that each session needs to be a minimum 4 months apart. Just by popping that in there, then the client knows I've really got to wait before I can get this. In fact, it used to be 4 months apart. I think we're probably going to change that to about 3 months. That way the client can do it within a year if need be. So again, you can see how I'm starting to change that now, and you can change this to whatever works best for you. They need to get something at the end. There needs to be some sort of incentive, and you need to make sure that you've got a monetary value to that. So for our frame that they get, it's worth £600. And they get that completely for free. Now, don't be scared of that. I'm not giving away £600 of my business. For me, it costs a lot less to produce that £600 frame. Now, what you do also find is there can be a fairly significant drop-off. Not a majority, but there is a drop-off of people who they will sign up for it. They will only come in for the first session. They're not interested in everything else, but the Watch Me Grow program just resonated with them, and they were like, oh, we'll do that. I need some pictures. They come in, they get the pictures, they get them on the walls, and then they're like, we don't need to do that. We'll do a cake smash further down the line. Actually, the Watch Me Grow program wasn't right. It was just a call to action to come in. So for us, we don't have to produce that frame because our rules stipulate you need to do all 3 sessions to get the frame. Should you not do one of the sessions, you don't get the frame. They also stipulate that we won't give you the frame with just 1 picture in. You've got to do all 3 sessions. So that's the Watch Me Grow program. You will get a big number, just so you're prepared, that will come back for the 2nd and the 3rd stages, and they won't spend with you, no matter what you put in place. So if you want to do it with us, you have to register for it and you need to pay a deposit. That's one of our pre-qualifiers to make sure we're not getting time wasters coming in. Now, even whatever you do to try and prevent the freebie seekers, the vultures, from coming in, they're still going to slip through. Not as many, there will always be the odd one that comes through. So don't let that kind of throw doubt over whether this program works. It definitely does. That's the Watch Me Grow program. Now, with all of these, we use a system called Booked Up that works really well, and it allows us to build landing pages for every type of session, an individual landing page, a funnel if you like, which when the client sees the promotion or the advert for the Watch Me Grow program and clicks the link, it takes them to a specific landing page which is just about the Watch Me Grow program, and it's engineered so that it filters out the freebie seekers and it will get clients to give us their details to become a lead, or they have the option to just book in there and then and pay the deposit. It works really well. So if that's something you're interested in, I can put you in touch with Booked Up and you can try that. It's a really good system. That is everything. It's only a short video today. It's a very simple method, and it's certainly something that if you're doing children's photography and you want to get busy, definitely give it a go. Thanks very much, guys. There'll be another video tomorrow morning, so if you want to subscribe and follow us along, that'd be fantastic. I will see you in the next one. Bye.